get over here. Man, I'm so glad that you're here. These allergies, they have my eyes so itchy and watery, I can barely see. Man, I miss the days when we used to just be able to run down to the pharmacy and get some allergy medicine. Our job is just to stay low and watch and listen for anything unusual out there. We think there might be a group of bandits somewhere out there. Last night, somebody killed Mrs. Smith. We don't know how many there were that killed her, but it had to be a group of people. There was just, by the signs that we saw, it was more than just a couple of people. And the worst part about it, not only did they take whatever few supplies that she had, but they also cut her up. I mean, all we found left of her was her intestines and her bones. For lack of better terms, they field dressed her. But from what we witnessed last night, oh, my eyes. But from what we witnessed, that was not the work of a few people. There has to be a group of them. Oh my gosh, I can't hardly see. Man, this stinks so bad. Hold on a sec. I just saw movement. It's them! It's the bandits! They're attacking! Oh my gosh, my eyes! I can't see him. I can't see him. Ah, I'm hit. I'm hit. Ah. Oh. Oh. Hey everybody, welcome to my bug out property. And in that post-collapse scenario video that we just watched, our character was suffering from seasonal allergies so bad, it made his eyes so itchy and watery to the point he really couldn't effectively fight those cannibal marauders. Now the unfortunate thing for our character is that there is a very common weed that he could have used to help alleviate his severe allergy problems. So to keep the same thing from happening to you in a post-collapse situation, we are going to make our own allergy medicine out of the common weed called purple DeadNettle. Hey, I can really attest that this stuff works pretty darn good. I've used it many times during allergy season working out here. And let's get back to the video. And really fast for new viewers, today's video is just part of a whole playlist where I show how to make natural medicines in a post-collapse scenario. So after you watch this video, make sure you check out the rest of that playlist. Now I know in the past we have used goldenrod for allergies, plus we have also made a tea out of purple DeadNettle, but I really like to give you options. As the old saying goes, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And speaking of options, if you are watching this video on YouTube, you should go over to Rumble and watch my channel there. A lot of us YouTube preppers are going over to Rumble because Rumble does not censor us like YouTube does. So to find my channel, just go to rumble.com and search ethical preparedness in the search bar. So we are here at my bug out location again, and the medicine that we are going to make today for dealing with seasonal allergies in a grid down event is going to be purple DeadNettle tincture. Now, purple DeadNettle is pretty easy to identify because the leaves are all kind of scrunched up towards the top of the stem, and at the very top it really kind of starts turning a purple looking color. Another thing that I've noticed about this plant is that it really appears and comes out pretty strong during the early springtime, and then it really just kind of disappears and dies back once the heat of the early summer sets in. So when I harvest these, I'm going to turn them upside down and kind of give them a flicker because ants and other bugs like that really like these. So every time I harvest this, I'm going to turn it upside down and kind of give it a flicker. And I am going to harvest a pretty good bunch of this today, and we will move on to the next step. And now I'm just going to give these a quick rinsing just to get rid of any bugs that I may have missed. And because these are really wet now from where I just rinsed them off, and because water dilutes alcohol, the alcohol that we're going to use to make our medicinal tincture with, I'm now going to spread these out on my picnic table and let the sun kind of evaporate the excess moisture, the excess water off these. Okay, now since this has had some time in the sun for the sun to evaporate the excess moisture, now what I'm going to do is I am going to strip the leaves and the flowers from the stems, and I'm just going to discard the stems. I'm also going to discard any leaves that might look pretty beat up or have some excess brown spots on them. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut up these flowers and leaves, and I'm going to put them in this mason jar here. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up filling this mason jar up just about halfway full of the leaves and the flowers here. Now the reason why I am using the flowers and the leaves and not the stems is it's my belief is that this time of the year is that most of the plant's energy is in the leaves and the flowers. So that is what I am wanting to end up in my medicinal tincture. And now as I'm putting these into the jar and I'm filling it up about halfway, I'm not leaving it real super fluffy. I am pushing them down just a little bit. I'm not jamming them down in there, but just kind of packing them a little bit in there to get this jar filled up halfway. Hey, if you would like a free PDF that tells you step by step how to make the off-grid prepper medicine that we are making in today's video, then comment down below with yes please, and I will do my absolute best to get that free PDF to you. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, now since I got this jar about halfway full of the fresh purple DeadNettle leaves and flower material, now I'm going to fill up the jar the rest of the way, all the way to the very top with this high proof, this 100 proof vodka. Now the reason why I use 100 proof vodka is I prefer to use fresh plant material, and the moisture that is still inside of fresh plants dilutes the alcohol, which can actually ruin your tincture. So I use the high proof 100 proof vodka to account for the extra moisture. And of course, when I sat down to film this, I forgot to get the lid. So I'm gonna go get the lid so I can put the lid on this. Okay, now I'm back and I've got the lid, being the dork that I am. So now I'm going to screw the lid on here. And like usual, I'm making a big mess because I filled it again to the very, very rim. And now I'm going to give it a shake to see if it releases any trapped air bubbles. Now, what I'm doing here is I am making sure that the alcohol level stays to the very rim of this because I don't want any of the plant material to be above the level of alcohol, because any plant material that's above the level of alcohol may mold and may ruin your tincture. So I want to keep all plant material below the level of alcohol. And now I'm just going to put the lid back on tight. Okay, now since I have labeled my soon-to-be medicinal tincture for seasonal allergies, I am now going to place it in a cool, dark place for the next 6 weeks. And the reason why it's so important to label these is that when you make multiple of these, sometime over that next 6 weeks, you are almost certainly going to forget which one's which. So I always label mine. Also, too, every day or once every other day or 2 or 3 times a week, I will take this out. I will give it a gentle shake to agitate the contents in here, and then again put it back in this warm or cool, dark place for the next 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks later.
Okay, now since it's had 6 weeks to macerate inside of the vodka, I am now going to remove it so we can strain it out to make our medicine for a grid down situation. So now I'm going to strain the purple DeadNettle from the what's now my medicinal tincture by using this handy dandy potato masher. What this does is this has the little holes here at the bottom, and it allows the initial fluid to leak through, no problem, and then this part actually squeezes the rest of the tincture from the plant matter. See how, if I can do this without making that big of a mess, because I usually make quite a bit of mess. All right. And you can see how this turned from that really crystal clear vodka to this pretty dark colored medicinal tincture now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it from this measuring cup over to this dark glass dropper bottle that I have already labeled with what it is and what the dosages are. And let's do that now. So now you have it. I have a medicinal tincture ready to use should I have allergies in a grid down situation and I just can't run down to the nearest pharmacy to get me some allergy medicine. Now to take this as grid down allergy medicine, I'm just going to simply put 2 milliliters of this medicinal tincture to a little bit of water here, and I'm getting ready to drink it to show you that it's safe and it's not going to kill me. But I do want to take just a minute to remind everybody that I have written a book that's got hundreds of pages, I think over 400 pages of simple recipes like this that you can make in a grid down situation to treat common ailments such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, headaches, anxiety, things like that. That's all, again, all in this book here. And at the time of this recording, I believe that this book is only, a physical copy of this book is only 25 bucks. And then if you don't have 25 bucks, there's always an ebook version of this. And I think it's only $9.99. And I'll put a link to the both of these down below. But just a quick reminder, there's nothing in this book that you can't find yourself online. But if you want to save yourself hundreds and hundreds of hours of researching all this stuff, again, you can find it all in one place here. And again, I'll put a link to the both of them down below. All right, let's test this medicine out now. So down the hatch. It's got a little bit of a plant taste to it, not too strong. Of course, I used quite a bit of water there, but again, not too strong, it didn't make me gag. If I had to take this as medicine in a grid down situation to treat my allergy symptoms, it would not bother me. And if I was having allergy symptoms in a grid down situation, such as watery, itchy eyes and sneezing and running nose, I would take this 3 times a day. I would do 2 milliliters at a time, 3 times a day. I would do it in the morning, midday, and then in the evening, and then any time that I had a flare-up. And I can tell you this, I do have a little bit of seasonal allergies happening right now, and I was having a little bit of a runny nose, and I can already kind of tell that's just in this 1 minute since taking this, I can see that it's kind of clearing up a little bit. Now, quick word of caution is my understanding that pregnant or breastfeeding women should not do any internal use of purple DeadNettle. Why that is, I don't know, but that's just kind of a warning that I kept seeing over and over again. So now I want to hear from you. What other kind of post grid down medicines would you like to see me make for this playlist here? Comment down below with your requests. And to see a playlist of medicines that I've already made, then click on the video that should be appearing on the screen just about now to learn what most other preppers don't know. Anyways, folks, this is enough internet for me today. I do need to get back to work here at my bug out location. And folks, if you made it this far, hey, thank you very much. And I pray that you have a good night.